Very few places in Britain were built not just to exist, but to shape power itself. Hatfield Mansion is one of those places. Long before it became a symbol of aristocratic stability, Hatfield stood at the center of royal attention, political danger, and elite survival. Established in the early 17th century, Hatfield was not born in comfort, it was born in calculation. This land witnessed royal imprisonment, succession crises, and the fragile balance between crown and nobility. Many estates that rose during this period vanished within generations. Hatfield did not. From the beginning, Hatfield Mansion was designed to endure uncertainty. It was constructed with an understanding that power in England was never permanent unless it was protected by structure. This was not merely a residence. It was a strategic anchor. Hatfield Mansion entered history not as decoration, but as an instrument of continuity. Power rarely survives close to the throne. Hatfield Mansion defied that rule. The estate stood dangerously close to royal authority, close enough to benefit, yet close enough to be destroyed. Before Hatfield House was built, the old palace at Hatfield was a royal property, closely tied to Tudor power. Elizabeth I herself spent formative years here, including periods of isolation and political uncertainty. Proximity to monarchy often ruined noble families, dragging them into court intrigues and succession conflicts. Hatfield avoided that fate by understanding one truth: royal favor is temporary. Land is permanent. When Hatfield passed into the hands of the Cecil family, it was not transformed into a courtly display. Instead, it became a carefully managed seat of influence, designed to remain relevant regardless of who ruled England. Hatfield Mansion did not survive by ambition alone. It survived through restraint. The Cecil family, among the most politically intelligent lineages in English history, understood how estates collapse. They saw families rise quickly and fall faster due to greed, overspending, and fragmentation. Hatfield was treated differently. It was never considered a personal asset to be reshaped by individual taste. Instead, it was preserved as a family institution. Decisions were slow. Changes were deliberate. Authority was inherited with responsibility, not entitlement. This mindset protected Hatfield from internal decay. While other estates were weakened by division among heirs, Hatfield remained intact. Power was centralized, controlled, and transferred without chaos. The estate became stronger with time, not weaker. In early England, money was fragile and titles were uncertain. Hatfield Mansion survived because it was built on something far more durable: land. While wealth could be seized by the crown and influence could disappear with a single political shift, land remained constant. Hatfield controlled vast agricultural estates that produced food, labor, and long-term value. This gave the estate independence from court politics and financial instability. Surrounding communities depended on Hatfield for employment, housing, and survival. That dependence created loyalty without force. Authority did not need to be enforced, it was accepted naturally. Many noble families lost everything because they relied too heavily on royal favor or urban wealth. Hatfield avoided this trap. Its land generated stability even during national crises. When wars disrupted trade and governments changed, Hatfield continued to function. Power flowed quietly from productivity, not display. By grounding authority in land rather than status, Hatfield ensured that its influence could not easily be erased. Most elite estates collapse not from external attack, but from internal division. Hatfield Mansion avoided this fate through strict succession discipline. The estate was never treated as a personal possession to be divided or reshaped according to individual desire. Instead, it was preserved as a single, unified structure. Legal arrangements ensured that Hatfield could not be fragmented among heirs. Each generation inherited responsibility, not freedom. Authority passed forward in a controlled manner, preventing internal conflict. While other families weakened as land was split into smaller holdings, Hatfield remained whole. This continuity protected the estate from gradual erosion. Even when individual heirs were weak or inexperienced, the system remained stronger than the person. Succession was designed to preserve power, not personality. This internal stability proved more important than any political alliance. Many noble houses destroyed themselves from within long before external pressures arrived. Hatfield did not. Hatfield Mansion survived because it understood the danger of visibility. Throughout history, estates that sought constant attention often attracted resistance. Hatfield chose restraint. It did not chase prominence at court or attempt to dominate political narratives. Instead, it maintained a steady, quiet presence. Influence was exercised subtly through consistency rather than confrontation. This restraint protected Hatfield during volatile periods of English history. Power that announces itself invites opposition. Power that feels permanent becomes accepted. Over time, Hatfield's authority blended into the background of national life. It did not need to be defended because it was never challenged openly. This approach allowed Hatfield to remain relevant without becoming a target. While other estates rose quickly and collapsed just as fast, Hatfield endured by avoiding unnecessary exposure. Silence in this case was not weakness, it was strategy. Hatfield Mansion did not resist change, but it never surrendered control. As England transformed through religious reform, industrialization, and political modernization, many historic estates failed to adapt. Some clung too tightly to tradition and collapsed. Others adapted too quickly and lost their identity. Hatfield followed a different path. Change was absorbed slowly and deliberately. Architectural updates respected the estate's original structure. Economic adjustments preserved long-term stability rather than chasing short-term gains. Hatfield evolved while maintaining its core purpose. This balance allowed the estate to remain functional without becoming fragile. Adaptation was not reactive, it was planned. By controlling the pace of change, Hatfield avoided the shocks that destroyed other noble houses. It neither froze in the past nor abandoned it. This controlled evolution ensured survival across centuries of transformation. Wealth has destroyed more estates than poverty ever could. Hatfield Mansion survived because it practiced economic restraint. Spending was measured, expansion was cautious, and debt was avoided whenever possible. The estate remained productive rather than symbolic. Agricultural output and estate management were prioritized over extravagance. Hatfield did not rely on speculative ventures or fragile sources of income. This discipline insulated it from financial collapse during national downturns. While many aristocratic families lost land due to mismanagement and excess, Hatfield remained solvent. Wealth was treated as a tool, not a temptation. The estate's economic model focused on sustainability rather than display. This long-term thinking ensured that Hatfield could endure periods of hardship without sacrificing control. Stability, not luxury, became the foundation of survival. Today, Hatfield Mansion is often presented as heritage. Visitors see architecture, gardens, and history. But heritage is only the surface. Beneath it lies uninterrupted authority. Ownership remains consolidated. Structure remains intact. Influence remains preserved. Hatfield has not been reduced to memory or museum alone. It continues to exist as a functioning system of control. While many estates became symbolic after losing power, Hatfield retained both. Its survival was not accidental. It was the result of centuries of discipline, planning, and restraint. The estate did not simply survive history, it shaped how history passed around it. Very few places in England have survived 5 centuries without losing ownership. Influence or relevance. Hatfield Mansion is one of those rare exceptions. Built in an era when power shifted violently and fortunes vanished overnight, Hatfield did not merely survive history. It learned how to move through it untouched. While noble houses rose and collapsed around it, Hatfield remained standing, controlled, and intact. This was not luck. It was design. Hatfield emerged during a time when royal favor could destroy as easily as it could elevate. Estates were seized, divided, or lost through poor succession and political miscalculation. Many powerful families disappeared within a single generation. Yet Hatfield endured, not because it resisted change, but because it controlled structure. From the beginning, Hatfield was never just a residence. It was conceived as an institution, an anchor of authority meant to operate across centuries. It did not chase influence at court or rely on unstable alliances. Instead, it focused on permanence. Control was embedded into land, law, and inheritance. Hatfield Mansion was not built to dominate history loudly. It was built to outlast it quietly.